live on stage. The sound.
Orlando.
So, is they ready?
Yes.
The sound.
Orlando.
You don't know?
Man, welcome to the Soul Show. I know we're supposed to be on at 7, man, but part of why we do this show, man, is we want things to be the way they're supposed to be. So we've been working on some things to make sure we got all of the representation tonight, and now we do. And I want to send our sponsor a shout out tonight. Our sponsor tonight is the legendary Jesse Jazz and 5-Star Graphics. If you need any printing done in the city, he will send it out worldwide. It doesn't matter. Hit that man up. He's not only a legendary DJ promoter, but he also is legendary in the graphic scene. Hit that man up. 5stargraphics.com. He is our sponsor of tonight. Now, before we get into our next artist, I just want to send a shout out to anybody that's going through anything right now. Please remember, you are not alone. There's numbers that you can call. There's friends that you can hit up. There's people you could talk to. Talk to strangers. You're not alone. You don't have to go through anything by yourself. There's a lot of people struggling out here that needs someone to talk to. And I'm speaking to people that may not be going through it, but may know how to communicate to those people. Go out there, man, and talk to somebody, man. Go out there, shake a person's hand. Go out there, hug somebody. Go out there, love somebody. It costs you nothing to love anybody, man. It costs you nothing to be a real person. In this world of make-believe, in this world of fake shit, it is very easy to purchase a life that isn't yours, but there's a lot of real people out there that need real love, man, and just go out there, man. Forgive quickly, love deeply. That's all I'm saying tonight. I want to say shout out to my whole entire city of Orlando, man. We believe in y'all. We support y'all. This show is for you guys. And tonight, we are not letting the hammer down. Tonight, we have a very special guest tonight representing the state of California, representing the West Side, representing legendary things. I mean, 20 or more albums to her credit. She has been a part of some legendary projects, The Click. She's brother of E40, legendary E40. Just incredible, things to her credit. But we just spent like maybe an hour talking about some of the realest stuff, and when you get to talk about real things, man, with real people, man, you never forget those moments. It's just like a real good meal that you eat out somewhere. You never forget the place. You may not remember the name, but you remember the place that you ate that at, and you're going to find it. We were able to talk and discuss about some real things, man. And look, this lady right here, this queen right here, she is, when I bring her on and she just starts letting it out, trust me, all of my peoples is going to be like, damn, she ain't playing. She has a book, the new project out called The Rapidemic, and it's a remedy for all. She is discussing things about how the Black older woman is being basically, put aside for this young movement and being told to be silent in a time where all of our voices are important. All of our voices are needed. And she is doing so much for the community right now. Mogul, artist, author, entrepreneur, educator, activist. I am so honored to bring on my sister, the queen, Suga-T. Let's go. Welcome to the show.
Hey, what's up?
What is going on? Peace, my sister. What's going on? Man,
It's all good.
I felt like I was talking to Chuck D's sister before I came on tonight. We just talking about real stuff, man. And it felt so good to listen to that, the truth. It's hard. It's tough. But we need to hear it. And you was speaking truth to power right there, man. And it was so dope to hear that. And I want to share that with our people right now and give, for maybe those that don't know who the hell you are, which is probably impossible, just give some light on how you came into the hip hop game and what was your beginnings with your brothers and cousins, and starting out on the west side of things.
Well, thanks for having me. And first of all, I just want to acknowledge that Chuck is my guy.
Yes.
Chuck is my guy, honey. Let me tell you, there's not a lot of men that take up for the ladies. You understand?
Yes.
Without a motive. You feel me?
Yes.
But, take up for it because it's right, because the kings are supposed to take care of the queens.
Yes.
And the ones that carry themselves as queens. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And this meaning of queen, that's a whole nother conversation because everybody calls themselves a queen. So
we're gonna get to that too. We're gonna get to that too. So
okay. So check game. This is the movement. Let me tell you the story. Chuck D had that's my guy. I was on the Southwest by Southwest, and shout out to them for having enough sense to to bring me as a part. I had my guy Hazim, who basically told them that they needed to holler at me, which very difficult. Sometimes it's difficult because a lot of times when they look over here on the West Coast, they just look in one segment of the West and they pick and choose one person to represent that. But, they kind of ignore, the generals, the other ones that's a part of the movement, just to make it easy on themselves. So unfortunately, in that moment, Chuck D they were telling me that I couldn't have my background up, and not Chuck D, but the actual company. And as the company continued to, we were having our podcast panel. We were speaking on, the generals of back in the day and the change and how we take responsibility as community and as advocates, or activists, how important that is in the hip hop community.
Yes.
And so, me being one, he wanted to bring me as a female, and he knows that I have nonprofit organization and different initiatives and different elements that connect the dots. So, so when I got on, I came with my back screen, and the guy that was producing or hosting the show, asking the questions, he asked me if I could take my backdrop down, and it was this same backdrop. And so,
wow.
Yeah, he was like, "Can you take your backdrop down? Because the company doesn't want us to market nobody's products." Now here I'm on a free panel. First of all, I did not get paid to be on that panel. You know what I'm saying? I could blink my eye in 1 minute and make $200. You get what I'm saying? So they didn't got sitting for an hour on a panel for free. You feel me?
Right.
So because it was simple right now, because I'm able to sit in one place, I said, okay, they're going to kill me. You know what I mean? So I did it. And of course, it's because of the cause, and I thought it was a good cause. So I participated. So to tell me to take something down and, and here it's the same backdrop of what I'm about, that was kind of, Chuck D was like, I started taking it down because I'm known sometimes to be hard to work with. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I'm not that easy all the time to be, bamboozled or just, I'm not a jump around and, don't ask no questions type of girl.
Right.
So that becomes hard to work with for some people.
Oh, hell no. Talk your shit, woman. We ain't playing around here, man. Go ahead.
You understand what I'm talking about? So Chuck was like, sugar. I was started taking my backdrop down. He said, no. Put that backdrop back up. He said, man, this is a pandemic, man. She need her backdrop. Let her put her backdrop up. We sick of looking at all these because see how pretty my background is?
Yes.
Sick of looking at all this other stuff. Man, it's a pandemic. Let her shine her thing. You know what I mean?
Man.
He said, sugar, put that backdrop back up.
Man.
And
shout out to Chuck.
So shout out to Chuck D. That's my man. And everywhere I go, he makes sure he respects my presence. And a lot of the older generation of these guys, the elders that are in our first generation with us at the beginning, trailblazers, people like us, they don't do that very often.
Let's speak to that real quick. Talk about what that's been like to acknowledge, because even the acknowledgement is a breakthrough in a lot of ways for people. Like some people can live long periods of time in the bliss of ignorance, right? But when you acknowledge things, sometimes you can't put that back in the tube. Talk about what that's like once you've seen it for the first time, and what that was like knowing that it wasn't just one offer. It wasn't just an anomaly. This actually is going down. It's continuing to be some sort of thing to do, if you will.
A
Talk
fad.
about it.
You mean ignorance a fad now? You know, everybody.
Right. It's a thing to do. It's a thing to do.
You the behavior. I know when we were a child, we do foolish things.
Right.
And to just stay foolish for your whole life, I just think that that's detrimental to you, to those around you. And Lord, behold, if you're a leader or you are a default leader, that's even worse. So it's scary. To me, I couldn't just sit in one space and not grow and be ignorant of what's around me and what's available outside of just one scene. You know what I mean?
Right.
Only have one conversation and one dimensional and follow one value and, not have no boundaries and just do any and everything, any kind of way without no real, insight. And it's just, even if I did not know, I will be reaching to see what I don't know. You know what I mean?
Right.
And even, because when you're younger, you're not exposed to a lot, so you don't know what you don't know. You know what I mean?
Right.
But, I've always been the person to be like, I would talk to God, what do I not know? Please teach me, tell me, show me.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like, that's it,
And that's universal. That's
Mhm.
universal for a lot of people. You said something earlier. I don't want to touch on that too. You said you are known for being hard to work with because you ask questions.
Yes.
And that shit is in movies, it's in books. People that ask questions and kind of buck the jack, if you will,
Mhm.
they accept the terms of the conditions because they know they're not going to live the normal life everybody wants them to live because, to your point, there's no normality in asking questions. You're asking things in which you're going to feel the weight of that answer, regardless of what the answer is. You're going to be exposed to some shit that's going to change your life forever and you will never be able to turn back. Talk about the idea of how hip hop became this, from a bastion of asking questions and pushing envelopes and trying out new things and creating industries where we took our ideas and now there's an app for it, there's a machine for it, there's clothes for it, we've done all of these things. When do the questions stop being asked, in your opinion?
That's a good point. From what you said earlier about when you ask questions, hi Lamont, you sweet. Thank you, guys.
Shout out to my man Work on the check-in. Yes.
I see you guys making them comments. Thank you.
Yes.
I appreciate the love and appreciation. Bless you guys. I had when we're talking about us asking questions, and at the end of the day, we're going to be the ones that have to deal with the repercussions, the consequences, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, sometimes this ego is so big, this control spirit is so big and it's so bullyish, right?
Right.
They think you ask the questions to question them or their abilities. This is that ignorance you were talking about.
Right.
So sometimes you outgrow people. Sometimes the element, and that's dangerous when you outgrow people. You know what I mean? Because they're still thinking that way, and you're thinking like, no, wait, I already get it. You feel me?
Right.
I'm just trying to see how I can complement what you got going on. So I'm asking questions so I can help, so I can know what to show up with, so I can show out for you, boo. That's all I'm asking, and I want to make sure I got what I need when I go. I don't want to go over here and ain't got my life jacket, or don't have my lipstick, or don't have my purse, and I might get over here and need something. Or should I bring my big purse, my big gun, my little gun, my this or that? You feel me? I need to know what it is so I can best represent where I'm at and what I'm doing. And unfortunately, the spirit of control and bully is so big in hip hop. A lot of the hip hop, leaders and people that are in our space, they are bullies, and a lot, you got people that's reaching, that understand that there's vulnerable people that's thirsty and just want to get on. So they know they can control you, and if you rock the boat, they can dangle something in your space, in your face, and there's being ignorant again, how it can affect you if you don't know no other way to survive, because you just reach in one direction, then you're gonna fall into that vulnerable space, and you're liable to
Right.
do anything or be put in a place where you can definitely be a detrimental, traumatized person just trying to play the game because you don't know nothing else and you ain't reached for nothing else. Knowledge
Right.
is power. You know what I'm saying? And yes, with the evolving elements that are moving around, all this, electronics and you can remake something and this and that and the third. They even trying to remake us. That's the reason why I'm speaking up. Because you can sit up with these algorithms. If you don't put your name in the algorithms, you know what I mean? The artificial intelligence is real. And
Right.
you get everybody putting, tagging your name and them having folks follow you based on, them grabbing your name. And that way they can take over the internet and have them come to you when they put in one of your songs because, it's deep. You know what I mean? And so it's a lot of pieces that you got to understand and learn about, and you will get left behind if you're not standing front. And the hip hop industry is the only industry, they move in technology, but unfortunately, the culture has become where they're not moving in the mentality. They're staying stuck in the 80s, and they need to grow up. You feel me?
Right. Well, it is a worship things things that aren't even alive.
Mhm.
Um, it's a kind of, you know, a numbness to it all, if you will. Like we all have become numb to things that are not good for us. That's why people, as
Mhm.
much money as they have,
Mhm.
are suffering with the worst of depressions, or
Yep, that's right.
having very,
Yes,
very tough issues, even
yes,
connecting with anyone without feeling like they're threatening their life.
you right.
Um,
Mhm.
and when we're talking about this thing of ours, which
Mhm.
I know where it's gone and I get it, but this thing of ours that we were blessed to even know at such a young age, was our first introduction to our expression of what love really was to us.
Yes.
It was a way of showing love and understanding. We couldn't wait to share it to our friends. We couldn't wait to share it to the world. We could, like, that
Mhm.
first introduction was all about sharing. All we wanted to do was share it. Like,
That's right.
yo, I just learned how to rap. Like, check this out. Like, I just learned how to DJ. I learned how to do this. I learned how to do this.
Yeah.
And that is missing.
Yeah. 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 Well, the crazy part is as you said it earlier, we're chasing things with no substance, basically.
Right.
It's not going to mean anything later, and it does not build up your soul, your spirit, or your mind. And this mindset that has been created in this whole element around, and I'm speaking as a hip hop matriarch, you know what I'm saying? Somebody got to talk about this. Somebody got to
Please.
some big mama gang. You feel?
Please
Uh,
leave me. Let's
it,
go, mama.
it can, we on the Bay Area, we've been gang related. You know what I mean? And that's
Right.
why I'm a little disappointed from the ones that ain't stepping out. And we're gonna talk about that too. So
Please.
bottom line is, when we're chasing this movement, it makes you become a person that's always begging for somebody to like you. Back in the day, like you said, when we were happy to share what we have for the love. Listen to this. Listen what I got. Shoot. People be ready now to beat you down and to man, that ain't because they comparing you to the other folks. You know what I mean?
Right.
Now it's everybody in this rat race. This pot. You feel me?
Right.
One little scratching at this one little cheese. That's basically they're gonna get their neck snapped if they get too close to it, and if they don't
Right.
come with no cover. You feel me? And
Right.
so the sad part is it creates a narcissistic mentality. That's the reason why I speak as a life skills and transformation expert and a vision and wellness coach, because at the end of the day, it's very unhealthy. It's unhealthy for everyone that's involved, because you're chasing a carrot that you're not going to be able to eat, and it may not be as sweet as you might think it is, and it's a little bit more to come along with it. And now it's even worse because you're dealing with people. It was easy back in the day for us, which cracks me up because people say, "Well, was it hard for you back in the day?" They think because we didn't have the internet, it was hard. But honey, this all we knew. We knew how to work hard. We got kicked out the house at 6 o'clock in the morning when the lights came on. We ate breakfast, and we couldn't come back home till 7 o'clock in the evening when the lights.
Talk your shit, queen.
Baby, it wasn't hard for us. We walked in the grass with our shoes off, feet get cut by glass. We was off in the middle of walking in the ocean with no shoes off. I mean, at the end, we was in creeks and crevices, and this is all we knew. So it wasn't hard because this is what we knew. We have people that used to milk the cows and go pick the farms and blah, blah, blah. I can keep going off with our responsibilities. We made go-karts out of lawnmowers. And I mean, we made it work, and this is what we knew. So we know about working hard. And if you want to talk about the industry, the industry, when it comes down to it, they weren't acting the way that they was. It wasn't about control. It was about talent. It wasn't about trying to stop somebody from being somebody. It was really about, we can do this and have fun. We on the playground having fun. We out freestyling, and it's enjoyable. It wasn't us put up against one another. We weren't, you better than this person, so now you the king, or you better than this girl, now you the queen. It wasn't always a contest amongst one another. It wasn't all this stuff. So it was a lot easier back in the day, if you want to be real with it.
And you're talking about a time in which when we're talking about queens, and you're talking about the legacy of what women in hip hop has meant for all of us. The MC Lights, the Yo-Yos, the Queen Latifahs, the Suga-T's. Talk about what that was like being amongst those greats and the differences that you see today, whereas women are being, like you said, pitted against one another. They're pitting the women against the men. It seems like an all-out assault
on
sometimes on not only women but humanity in general. Like
all of it.
To keep us not being human and to be numb to everything. Oh, it's all good. It's all good. Yeah, you do that. It's all good. Everything's good. Talk about that, mama, and what that was like during that time in comparisons to what you're seeing right now. Because that book, the rapidemic that you're talking about, and the systematic racism of burying the careers of the older women, has made a space for only women, which is crazy. When you think about it, like I said, I'm not one to judge anyone because Jesus hung out with the prostitutes. He hung out with the people that needed help. So it's not my space to say this over that. Yes. But at the same time, it just seems to be an all-out effort. When everything is salt, that's just not good food. Yes. You need some sugar in that. You need something. No pun intended. Shout out to Suga-T. But you need some sugar in it to even out, to taste the meal. So talk about it. Speak truth to power on it.
Well, that's real. I mean, at the end of the day, with that, a false balance, it's just going to do nothing but bring people to a detrimental space and place. There's a wide world of game out here, a wide world of information, and there's a lot that comes with this life. And if you don't get it when you are along the way, and you don't continue to increase your understanding, then you stagnate yourself.
Right.
And the sad part is there's not a lot of people who are willing to teach anymore. And those who are willing to teach, you got a generation of people that don't even want to hear them.
Right.
If they ain't riding in a Mercedes, Mercedes is weak now to people. If they ain't riding in no Bentley, if they ain't in no Cardi B dollhouse, showing their butt, if they ain't, no offense to them, but that's what they were doing in there, humping and stuff and doing stuff in the dollhouse. If they're not, if they're not moving around ignorantly and smoking weed, talking to you, getting high, looking cool, at the end, what they consider cool, depending on which generation it is, then they don't feel like they can learn anything or need to learn anything from them. And the sad part is all they do is crash and burn. You know what I mean? They're just
Right.
learning nothing. So they just run around in circles and eventually they crash and burn. So you're dealing with some rebellious generations and some ignorant generations as well, based on them coming into the hip hop game only seeing one thing, only witnessing one element of it. So that's why parents have to play old school music for their kids. Everybody's kid should know Suga-T. And I feel so good when these kids say, Sugar, I play your music for my daughter. My daughter loves Sprinkle Me, even if it's just Sprinkle Me, even though I got 20 albums, you know what I mean, and a whole lot of other music. But if they play something, that's fine. I'm happy with that because my mama played the OJs, the Temptations, Johnny Taylor, you know what I'm saying? Chaka Khan, Stevie Wonder. I mean, I listen, and I love them today. And it's just like the music, like it's brand new. So we have to take responsibilities and look at things a different way. And at one point, wake up and realize that there is a future. What you do today, it will affect or benefit your tomorrow.
Right.
You smoking all this weed? The weed is the thing to do for everybody. And I get in fights with everybody about this. They can't stand me half of the time because I say this. The weed is eating in your lungs. It is altering your mind. You don't know what is going to come about later and how that's going to operate in your system later. Dementia, early dementia, Alzheimer's, brain aneurysms. You don't know. This is tar in your spirit. So we have to do everything in balance. I'm not saying don't smoke weed, but if you don't have to, why are you doing it? What's the purpose? You know what I mean? And what are you running from? Now, if you're sick or you need a balance, that's a different thing. If you need to eat because you don't have no appetite, you got cancer or something in that element, then if you're going to wild out and you think you might kill somebody, then smoke it.
Right.
If you just doing it, I hear people saying they do it because it's legal.
Right. Well, the
mindset. You're doing it because it's legal.
Right.
Not doing it because I want to get high. Not doing it because I want to get away from something. But I'm doing it because it's legal. I've heard people, that's that ignorance that we were talking about earlier.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We got to stand for something. Don't nobody stand for nothing no more. And people just let this thing go.
Right. And there's so many people dealing with internal issues that, we only see or read about in the news or hear about it on the news. Oh, this dude snapped, this girl snapped, and who knew? They seemed so happy. How could that have happened? But a lot of people are suffering inside.
Mm-hmm.
Even the ones that we're told on a regular basis are the most happiest. Like, yo, he's got a Bentley. He's living the life. He's got all the hit records. I mean, shit. We just heard about Tekashi 6ix9ine being depressed, and suffering depression right now.
Come on.
And
Come on.
Right.
Come on.
And so this whole idea of money is the thing to do at times is so ridiculous on its face that you kind of find it hard to believe that people are as happy as they really make it to be. And to your point, and I want to touch on your book. You talk about the bullying, the overt sexualization of women through music, and does this make it harder for women like yourself to get that point across that there's actually more things to value outside of this bullshit? Does it make it harder for you?
You might have me over here crying, baby. Let me tell you. And that's an awesome question. People like me, it cracks me up. I've been around people who basically have stayed stuck in one space, and that's all they think about. So I am a total, when I come talking about, when I created an online school, I have an online school, Sprinkle Me Learning Academy. I created it before the pandemic, 2014. Pushed it.
You hear that, Orlando? She has an online school. An educator is in the building. Continue, Queen.
Yes, sir. Sprinkle Me Learning Academy. if you guys want to learn about it. But the bottom line is, people looked at me and was, you coming here when I got my education, you coming here talking about educated stuff. I've been and booted you out if I was a producer. I'm like, why would you get mad about that? I've had people attack me and say stuff like, oh, you got your degree, so why don't you use it? And it's like, I am using it. I run my own company. It's not a $1 billion company, but hey, I ain't got to work for nobody, and I ain't had to. It's very little and when I did it because I wanted to, not because I had to. You see?
Can you say that one more time, Sugar? The kids just got out the bus. It's late over here. They probably just came up. They're hungry for what you just said. Can you repeat that one more time? Come on, kids. Listen to what the mama said. Let's go.
Absolutely. People literally, they got annoyed because I got education. You know what they said to me? Well, won't you just use your education? They would tell me that like I'm supposed to quit music, because I got my education. And I said, you can do music and still have some education. Well, that's the ignorance so I was a threat to people. And I'm like, I have a business. I own a business. I've been a business owner since 2000, since 1995, really. But I mean, serious about it in 2000. I took a break, 2002, and then I got right back on it and today up to date, and when I work because I wanted to make sure I could work. I'm not telling nobody to just go out there and be a business. Everybody want to be a business because they don't want to be told nothing. I did it for survival because I needed some flexibility as a mother, because I was a mother at 16 and I had 2 at 17. Through my whole career, those 16 years from 1984 to 2000, my kids were 10 and 11 at that time. You know what I mean? And I'd already made hits and platinums and golds and all that stuff. And I knew that was an easy thing to do. You get what I'm saying? Right. I wanted a challenge. I didn't want nobody just sticking me in the box saying, here, just sit here and rap. You know what I mean? Right. I'm scared of that.
And what's crazy about what you're saying? What's crazy about what you're saying? And you don't hear. This is the conversation less had for people, because for an outsider that doesn't know how to rap, let's say, right? They may not have the talent that you have, may not have the looks, may not have, the gift, if you will, or be amongst the people that can actually apply it of what you're doing. Right? Like what you're saying is kind of like, well, then why do it? There's plenty of people that wish they could be like you. Like, it's so stupid. But I'm just saying, what do you say to those people who look at you like you're gifted, you were lucky, like you had these things kind of, God chose you to do these things, then why you sound so like that's not even important to you, right? Just give the people the bigger picture. Okay. They got more than that, right?
That's right. Good point. So, just to be clear, everybody, I've been in the game for 36 years. Okay. My first love and my first priority was womanhood, and that was taking care of my children. So in between that time, and I tried to have children. I don't recommend it to nobody else that early to have one, but I like to nurture. So I purposely had children. Yes. And at an early age, I desired to be a mother. So that was my calling, to desire that at such a young age. And I needed to make sure that was my first element that was clear, which, as many people in the same time frame, they weren't parents in the game like me. So as I stated earlier, in the conversation with DJ Rome, is when we got off the plane touring, my mother was calling me on the phone, said, okay, girl, you done? Okay, come on, get your kids now. Everybody else got to go have fun. The men got to leave the kids with the baby mama. They wasn't missing nothing. The men can go home and go rest and be okay because the mama got it. I had to come home and handle my children. You know what I'm saying? Right. So I never really escaped reality. I never got all so pumped up and was happy to be gone. The first maybe 4 or 5 years, it was fun. And all right, I was turned up. I could get away from my kids, get the kids. Right. Kids, but then after so long, you start looking in the eyes of other people's kids like, wow, oh my God, I'm leaving my babies. This don't feel good. And you start really feeling guilty. This is if you about your womanhood, your mamahood. You know what I mean? I wanted to mold minds. I had them for that reason. They were like baby dolls to me. That was my goal, was to take them, nurture them, and mold them to be women, queen women, you know, of integrity and of manners, and what I learned when I was a children, you know what I mean, a child, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And as I learned to be a woman, I wanted to teach them what I already knew as a young woman, you know.
Right.
So bottom line, and I knew that they were needed to be programmed, and I wanted to make sure I was there to program them, you know.
Right.
And so that was a part of already something that was it was a stretch for me. And the second thing is knowing that you being around an entity of people who just only stay in one place. Eventually I realized that these people just want to stay in one place. That ain't me. I'm afraid to be in one place only. I have to
No, let's go deeper on that, Mama, because you're talking about the idea of one place. For a lot of people, one place could be many things, right? We were talking about it earlier. One place could be like, oh, I just want to be, you know, that dude that's lit, you know, like always having people liking my things and being down with what I'm doing. Or, you know, another form of that is, nah, just show me the money, you know, and being that person. What was that space that you're talking about that you didn't want to remain the rest of your life in?
Yeah, I didn't want to have to continue to prove to people that I'm cool or that I, you know, can have sex and drugs and alcohol and violence and stripping and bullying and bragging. That just so played out to me. You know, it's just not a healthy thing for me to represent that to the people that's listening, you know, or to society in general as a community and as a culture in music and hip hop. So that was something that I wasn't with. I wasn't just stand stagnated. And not only that, but once I feel like you got to grow, once you get one thing down packed, you got it. Now find something else to do and learn. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And that was the type of person that I was. You know, I like to grow and learn. And not only for the sake, it was a part of fear, you know, of saying, wait a minute, if I end up over here and this don't work, then what in the world am I gonna lean on? You know what I mean?
Right.
And what do I do with my kids? And here we are in a struggle, you know, where there could be a struggle that I know about that I could, you know, that I can get into and at least ride through that struggle. You feel me? But the struggle that I'm not knowing about and I don't have no control over, that's a problem to me, because at that point, you know, it's like I'm walking and running into a brick wall, you know, and then popping my head and then fall on the ground with a lump on my head and don't know which way to go after that. You feel me?
Right.
And I got two more following me to see that. So the point of me saying that is I took a break. I pulled back for you that's listening. I can't stand hip hop. The music business is horrible. The hip hop business has become nothing but foolishness.
Could you say that one more time? Because some kids just came back from expulsion. They were being bad, and we're letting them back just for this show. Could you say it one more time for all the people to hear? Let's go.
Now, let me say this with a disclosure. I have 20 albums, solo albums, all types. Okay, I also have five group albums. Okay, I have gold, platinum soundtracks of a variety. If you go to IMDb, you will see all of the soundtracks that I'm on. And I have a long track record of music. And today I'm sitting on probably about 100 songs that's still not released yet, of all different types. I'm a master songwriter. Okay, and I'm gonna show you what I'm talking about in a second. But I can't stand what hip hop has become, because I can't stand to see people kill themselves. You understand what I'm saying? When your mind is in one place and that's all you want and know, and it's something that's not healthy, that's a problem. That means that you are going to hit a wall, and everybody around you going to hit the wall, and you probably helping other people hit the wall, and you probably hitting the wall, hitting the other people that ain't hitting the wall. It's just a mess. And so looking at a culture that was one thing and then see it turn into something totally different. And I'm a Black woman. I got a big butt, a big breast, a pretty face. You see what I am. I'm 50, and most people will not tell their age. I love my 50, baby. I'm one of the baddest 50-year-olds you probably ever run across.
Talk your shit, queen. Talk your shit.
You know what I mean? I knocked out cold with my hands. You get what I'm saying? I went to the gun range as a child and as an adult, and I still know how to get down if I need to, but I'm not a problem maker. You get what I'm saying? But I do protect mines. Thirdly, I'm very much in shape. I got big breasts, brand new. Look here. This ain't paid for. They still sit up. You understand what I'm saying? My butt pop out. You could put a cup on top of it, and it ain't nothing buttocks in that. I don't have no buttocks. You see these bags on my eyes, and I don't plan on getting no buttocks. These gonna be here. You understand what I'm saying? And every now and then you might see a belly poke out, and I'm not ashamed of that because I'm not going to go get a liposuction. You understand what I'm saying? So my point, and then when I want gray and pretty eyes, baby, I pop my contact lenses in, and they come back out. They're not staying in. You understand? And I'm not trying to hide them as if they are my eyes. I know they're not mine. So my point is, and I've been wearing them since I was 16 or 17. My point of saying this is I like reality. You understand? And I'm trying to think how I got all over there talking about that. But the bottom line is it's not because I'm intimidated. I'm sticking around because I'm not going to let these people just step on my legacy. It's bigger than that. There's people that are being unserved. It's a disjustice to not communicate because you you feel like you can stop for a minute and go do some other things that you have a right to do and you should do. We're supposed to have a well-rounded life. You're supposed to have a chance to come back into wellness. You're supposed to be able to build yourself and develop personally, professionally, spiritually. You know what I mean? As you advance financially, because if you just advance in financially, you're a detriment to your world, to your space, to you. You know, you are, and in most cases, you probably don't know nothing if that's all you think about. You understand what I'm saying? So that means if you're a leader of people around you, you're the one that can open up the doors for people. You're the one that can kick down doors for people. You're the ones that can let down the doors for people. You're the one that everybody look up to because you got all the money. That means that you might not be you leading people to a whole different place, and you're not doing the right thing, because when you're limited knowledge and you're limited to exposure and that's all your focus, that's a big problem. And that means that you could be getting in the way of generation wealth opportunities. You sitting on blood money. You get what I'm saying? You're not sharing because you're selfish. You got people around you that's just kissing your butt and looking up to you because you got money, so they scared to rock the boat. And those are the most dangerous people to be over a union, because now you got a whole community that you could be empowering, that you basically, because of your selfishness and the limited knowledge, because all you care about is money and muscle, it's people around you suffering that don't have to. So that's why I hate this.
Man, this go sit your ass down somewhere moment has been brought to you by the Queen, Suga-T, and Rapidemic. Like, yo, like that dude, like, let's let that breathe for a minute, because you dropped some heavy bars right there, and the world need to recognize that for a minute, man. Like, that's tough. I mean, and that's the truth. The truth is, some of us don't realize the responsibilities we have because we're so stuck on it being our way. One of my moments in the discovery of me and meeting a near death in that was the idea of how can I quickly get out of my way, because a lot of people want everything their way.
Mm-hmm.
And there's also a record playing in your head from when you were born that's telling you to go most of the time in the opposite direction. Mm-hmm. Every now and then it sync up. But for the most part, you want to go over here because you don't want to have to deal with, the cross.
Yeah. You want the easy route.
Or the embarrassment, or the pain, or all the shit you're gonna have to do. Why I gotta lose all this family? Why I gotta be the enemy? I'm trying to help my people. Like, why do I want? Nobody wants to do that. Mm-hmm. And everything that you describe is the divider of so many families, blood or not.
Yep.
So many people, and that's why they're put on that damn cross of life. We were talking about the Black Panthers and, looking back at that history and how important that was, and seeing that during the pinnacle, during the peak of their influence, that their numbers weren't truly really justified. Like, no one, it looked like there was 1,000 people, when in actuality, they represented all of us during a time where we needed more voice than any other time in life. But because there was more of us that didn't want to create those waves, it's like you were talking about, didn't want to be that troublemaker, asking questions and trying to be all smart and shit. You know what I'm saying? Or trying to, buck the jack. You know what I'm saying? This robbery will go so smooth if you just give it up.
Yeah, or talk back to the oldest one. It's like, at some point, if you're not talking back, you're a voice, and you have a right to have that voice. And, older people should learn how to listen to younger people. Younger people should learn how to listen to older people. We all have things to give. And at a certain age, you got to pivot how you look at things. And, this is generational. You got a generation of old. It's a whole nother conversation. You got a generation of our mother's age that basically just wanted to be right. And wanted to be, I'm grown, I know it all, so you can't tell me nothing. Then you have my generation, me and your generation, which I think is a chosen generation because we see both sides. We seen Big Mama and we see the kids and get the technology. You feel me?
Right.
To whereas we are trying to give to our partner with the younger people. And, of course, if I tell them I'm Suga-T, they'll listen to me. You know what I mean? But if it's just a everyday common, Jane that is still trying to give them something, they got to fight to be heard, and it shouldn't be that way. We got so many factors that's working for us and against us. It's crazy. And because of the media and because of the influence and because of ignorance, as you stated, and because of all these different agendas around it, everybody have their hand in the pot for the agenda. You got crumb snatchers at the bottom that's trying to pull you down and get something from you. You got the greedy people at the top that don't want to share because they got their own issues because they're still not content in their soul. So they can't look away from their own movement because their soul is not content from greediness. You got the real greedy people that got so much extra responsibilities. They're scared to stop because they can't take care of all the responsibilities and they don't want to lose that stuff. You know what I mean? Right. Then you got the middle folks that's just waving in the middle, trying to figure it out. Then you got the people that's actually balanced, that see this crap, and it makes you sick to your stomach, and you're just watching the show. You feel me? And I'm willing to make enemies. I'm willing to not be liked. I don't care. I had to get to that point. I didn't know that people was not going to like me or put me in a box because I thought realistically, you know what I mean? It's like you wanted me to stay in a fantasy world. No way. That's crazy. I never wanted to get into a fantasy world. I'm not a gimmick and I'm not going to be there. And then you have some of the people that put these artists in this game and tell them, well, this is what you got to do. This is a lifestyle. Well, these people got to live this life. That means if they're pushing this lifestyle, they're going to have to live that life even when they get home. You get what I'm saying? It ain't just a stage lifestyle when you put this energy out there. This is serious, Right. So I don't get how the people are comfortable. You have the generation that that came in with me that stepped off the element and started falling into this stuff. That if they didn't continue to push, the only a ghetto hood element out of this thing, or it doesn't sell, they fell into this mess too. So then they was a part of setting up some of the young ones because they gave the young ones a platform without no personal development. They let them in the game without having to sign no paperwork, meaning that, they didn't have to pay no block dues. You feel me? Okay. Right. And they let them in the game because they was trying to have something to reach for to keep holding them down because they were in that old school thinking and they did not pivot. Like we talked about growing. They did not do what you said. I know something got to be wrong with me. People don't think something wrong with them, and them is the most dangerous people that you could be around because they could be dangerous to others because of their issues, and they take it out on you, and you're a part of that, or they could teach you that same mentality. So at the end of the day, because of all of this that comes along with it, you got a wild generation of youngins now running around, not just in the community, but you got them in hip hop. Everybody reaching for the mic. Everybody reaching for the mic. You can't even have a conversation with nobody without them wanting to be rappers. And I'm like, I'm in organizations. I'm an executive director. I'm in partnerships of multiple opportunities of how people can be successful in their life, in their real life, and maybe play with rap on the side. These people are begging people to get, journeyman certifications in 4 months and placed them at BART stations and train stations making $120,000 a year, just like that. These people we're out here fighting to get people in technology to get $150,000 check, entry level position just with an 18-month certification. You get what I'm saying? I mean,
Right.
This stuff is serious. And I'm like looking at everybody chasing this 1 carrot, and they're just running rapid with foolishness and chasing that 1 carrot. So now you got a narcissistic environment of somebody that, look at me. You should see how many inboxes I get every day on my social media. Matter of fact, y'all can follow me at Suga-T. And my social media, people, can you listen to this? Can you listen to me? Please tell me what you think. But everybody's running around trying to beg people to like them. If you don't play me on the radio, I don't care. Okay? You don't have to play my song on the radio. I don't care. I don't make music. I like the people. Thank you. You know what I mean? But I don't make music for people. I make music that I like. You get what I'm saying? And
one more time for the people, them again. Say it.
I don't make music for the people. I love the people, but I make music that I like because I have to perform. And I'm not just gonna make a song because everybody gonna love this because it's doing what everybody else doing. And I make music because I like it, and I'm bad. Y'all can go on YouTube, follow me, and listen to the Rapstress. That's the latest album. The Queen of the West is the other one, and up to date. It ain't. I'm not skipping and missing the beat. You feel me?
Well, speaking of music, you sent me this track. I mean, it sounds completely dope. Give an intro for this song we're about to listen to, and what was the thought process? What went into this particular song we're going to play tonight?
So most definitely, everybody, this is a song that I'm sharing with you guys. It's about, highlighting champions, in this world. As DJ Rome has said earlier, he mentioned nobody's showing no love and not giving nothing back. It's all about them, and we're putting things on the pedestal. But there are people out here that's really suffering and they're underserved. And one being I call us champions. These are the first ladies of trailblazers in hip hop, the older women who are being basically shunned and pushed out the game and forced into retirement. And here we're here live and direct, spunky, pushing still, healthy, you know what I mean, in the movement, capable. We just so happen to have some balance, meaning that we know how to do other things too, you know what I mean? And we also spend our time being women because we became women. That's what we're here to do. So the champions is recognizing these underserved women in hip hop, as well as underserved community of autistic mothers of children with autism, specifically the African American women, because they're more limited with a lot of more barriers and different circumstances that are oppressing and that are, taking the attention, away. So at the end of the day, I want to give a shout out to Lakeem because they just on this thing. Jesse, Music, who that else? So I just want to say hi to everybody, y'all. I see y'all.
Shout out to Stage Flow. Yes, I make music for me. You damn right. Let's go.
That's it right there. Because you know what? A hit. Let me tell you what a hit song is, baby. A hit song is a song that is overexposed and in your face every second. Okay, and they make you like it. It's a programming. So how many times you done heard of songs you could not stand? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And and you like, oh, what the heck is that? And next thing you know, you done heard it 30 times, and you like, oh, I kind of like that. You find yourself singing it, yeah, and that's the way it goes. So I'm not playing this hit game. Who got hits? And it cracks me up when people want to give me. I'm about to make you a hit, sugar. I'm like, baby, I'm sitting on 1 million hits. Okay, I don't need no more music. I got music coming out my ear, boo boo. When you get a machine and an outlet to make sure it gets heard, and you can add to what I already have. You get what I'm saying? Then let's do it. You get what I'm saying? So the beauty of it is the champions. I just want to highlight once again, I don't mean to talk about myself, but sometimes people, when you have some sense, this is the backwardness of the people. When you talk respectfully and of integrity, they think you weak or you're not capable of delivering what you are saying that is annoying you. So I continue to do music just to be clear. You understand what I'm saying? That's the only reason why I really even do hip hop, because I do know I do have a fan base that I appreciate, that listen, that love me, that's looking, that want to know. You get what I'm saying? And if I don't tell my own story, somebody gonna tell it for me. Okay. And it ain't always the right story, Secondly, I have
Man,
a legacy. I have 6 grandchildren, and all 6 of these grandbabies deserve to benefit off my legacy. They're teenagers down there now. You know what I'm saying? And they have a right to get what their grandma put in a game. And I'm not just to let them just stump on my legacy. You feel me? So at the end of the day, I have no problem with the other women existing. Y'all do y'all thing. I have no problem with these young women, young new artists that if that's all they want to talk about and that's what they want to represent. Been there, done that. Hopefully, eventually they may grow out of it. They may stay there depending on the circumstance. But I'm not. And I've already been there. They're doing what I already did years ago. That's played out to me. It's played out. You know what I mean? Because it's
right.
old. It's old game. It's like, come on, what's new? You feel me? It ain't nothing new that they're doing. So it's not exciting to me. It's actually boring to me. And it's basically abusive. And it's degrading to me as a woman who likes to learn and grow. You know what I mean? That I have to sit here and act like this is the new stuff. Like I'm supposed to be excited about this. And I'm just not.
Right.
So it's not exciting that they get gold at what do you call it? Big old they go to the awards and they get all these. That don't mean shit to me. That ain't real to me. That's paid bought stuff. I don't give a rat's butt about that hype. You get what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, I'm not mad at them because we all are trying, and I love my brothers and sisters just for trying. And and I understand, when you have a limited amount of exposure to things, there's not a lot of us talking like me. So if you don't see a queen, how would you know how to be a queen? You get what I'm saying? How would you be? And I position myself as an heiress. You can't behead me. You get what I'm saying? A queen can be beheaded. That name is used too loosely now. So, I'm talking about being an heiress. About where you can't be headed because you're just there for the hype and for the moment. You feel me? When you're walking and moving around with substance, you're leaving opportunities here for people and recognizing these populations that are underserved and need some love and assistance that are here dying right in front of us, and we're not paying attention to them. So this is what the Champion campaign is about. It's a series that I'm making to support all of the initiatives to the Work It Well projects, initiatives as a charity that I've had for quite a while. I'm all into dealing with all the different various communities, trafficking, domestic violence, the former foster youth, the different ones that I can continue to go on and on. These are vulnerable populations that need support, and specifically autism is close to my heart. You'll see a little bit even further out that I'll be explaining in the future. We got a long haul, a series of different initiatives that are being launched, and the Champion is our music project to support it. And so I'm letting y'all rock with me, referencing the Champion, and hey, we about to get it.
Let's get right into it. You heard this queen, this heiress drop all kind of bombs tonight, this evening. Let's go to that song. We got breaking news, people. Let's go to breaking news.
Breaking news never stops.
Turn this motherfucking sound up, man. Blast this, turn the whole this up.
You come for me, I come for you. I do me, you do you. Hey, I'm my own lane. Hey, I do my own thing. Grown up, gang tight swagger. Old lady hustle, non-board dagger. Hey, picture that in real life. Nah, make believe and I do what I like. Hey, tell her that I'm coming for a real one on the helmet and I ain't giving up. Hey, I push a hard line, do what I do when I say what I like. Yeah, T a bad one, T go hard for the stallion. Yeah, I'm a champion, history in the making, them other styles young. You come for me, I come for you. Coming to get you, I'm a champion. You come for me, I come for you. Coming to get you, I'm a champion. You come for me, I come for you. Coming to get you, I'm a champion. You come for me, I come for you. Coming to get you, I'm a champion. You come for me, I come for you. I do me, and you do you. Hey, I already won. 3 decades later, still game strong. Hey, I ain't want the bag or the shopping mall, cause I want my money back. Hey, I know what it is. You just get started. I already did it. Dummy, you gon' get the gun. That's up all the fun, cause you young and dumb. Hey, I've been my own boss. I ain't just a rapper, I gon' get it all. Yo, I keep my clothes on. For real. Game so tight, they be in the ozone. Hey, get your man, girl, cause he all up in my DM and he won't leave me alone. You come for me, I come for you. Coming to get you, I'm a champion. You come for me, I come for you. Coming to get you, I'm a champion. You come for me, I come for you. Coming to get you, I'm a champion. You come for me, I come for you. Coming to get you, I'm a champion. Yo, oh, you know about that grown woman swag? That Forever 21 turn up. You know that 50-20 game bag. Let's get it. Let's go.
Breaking news never stops.
Turn this motherfucking sound up, man. Blast this, turn the whole this up.
Breaking news. Man, that was completely dope. That was completely what I expected from you. You're at the space in your life where you're speaking your truth. So many people need that voice right now, especially a lot of the women out here. A lot of the men need to hear this. I think it's a message for everyone, because right now it's very difficult for not only people to give, but for people to receive. And it's just not enough. It needs to be just like what we're up against. It's a nonstop message and narrative being given to the children, to adults. You know, we need to have just as much strength and power behind the alternative of that. We can't say something is wrong without giving an example. Or, you know, I lived in Kansas City for 12 years of my life, and Missouri is the show me state. Show me. Like, I could show you, but I could tell you. We need more of that. We need people that are not caught up in this ageism business, or believing like I should shut up after I'm 30. Like, I don't know who came up with that rule, but it sounds like a damn slave master. That shit don't sound like that don't sound like no competent being.
Right. Who don't want game around? Who want to get rid of the elders? That's just foolish.
Right. Like mom and dad gotta go. Like, you gotta kill them.
You gotta go, grandma. We don't want no more of your greens and hot water cornbread with the vinegar in it. We want the box cornbread with the lard and the canned greens. You know?
Right. Like, it's so ridiculous. It forces you sometimes there to be silence. Because for a lot of people, it just makes them so mad to hear half the shit that they're hearing. There really is no response to it, you know. But we need, like you said, the leaders to come in, start to make the differences, start to say, okay, well, boom, you know, like this, what you were telling me, what is the Sprinkle Me Boutique? That's a place where we can go to find out what we can do, how we can support. Talk about Sprinkle Me Boutique.
Yeah, you could go buy products. That's the Sprinkle Me collection. I have a production company, spa wellness, fragrance, and services and product lines that we create, and we sell them online, and we also distribute them, and we produce them for other entities and other people too.
Okay. And are these organic things, or it's kind of what like give us a little more depth of the products that you sell?
Sure. Most of the products are hyperallergenic, and they're definitely made with natural ingredients, no paraben, no lanolin, definitely regulated through the factories to be more healthier. The lipstick I have on is actually a vegan lipstick. You can find this online. It's from the Sprinkle Me Slay cosmetic line. And then we have a vegan eyeshadow. And
dope.
Yeah, we have a 2-in-1 that's an eyeshadow and a lipstick. And a few other products that are very unique. So it's a specialty boutique It's specialty products, so it's not the average stuff that you'll find
Support
everywhere.
black businesses, support local.
Mhm.
Shout out to all my vegans out there. Because I didn't even know about that. Like I didn't know they had like a vegan lipstick and all that stuff. So shout outs to that. Talk about the work project.
Sure. So the Working Project is an organization. It's a charity, and that's what we do. Our goal is to help keep people from falling through the cracks, and our goal is to see people healthy, economically empowered, safe, and inspired. So we have a variety of initiatives in which you can go and find them on that site and support them. All different types of initiatives, from dealing with grandmothers to dealing with, as we stated earlier, mothers of children with autism, who is who we're concentrating on now. We want to give a lot of voice. We want to be a voice right now. We're doing a sing-a-thon element, where I am highlighting these voices that are silenced, who are in the nonverbal community of the autistic children, and more severely impacted ones. So that's one of our today's and right now movement here. Is it is Autism Awareness Month, and so we are sounding the voices for them and educating people on learning really what this community is about, because it's increasing, and African American families are really impacted by it, because there's a whole lot that they're not aware of or able to get to. And with all these different types of, I would say, experimental, things that we're doing, um, people have to be aware that there's a possibility that there is going to be some impact, and it might not be the most positive impact on their children. So just, being able to educate and support and meet people where they are and create more innovative services is what we're looking to do. Currently, we have an Amazing Moms program. So when people donate towards our Amazing Moms program, it helps us continue to provide innovative services such as wellness coaching, and a variety of other services that they do not have in the cookie cutter system that's out there for them as we speak. So that is one of our elements, and our Don't X Me Out initiative supports this opportunity for us to bring more innovative services to this community.
Now is this limited to California or the West Coast, or is this nationwide?
We serve nationwide, and we try to bring impact in regional elements. So we do have a nationwide community that we support, and we do it realistically. And yes, absolutely. And we encourage people, anybody who's interested and want to, know somebody who has autism. We prioritize the children that are more severely impacted, because they seem to be the ones that have the roughest time and the hardest time having care, because a lot of people don't want to deal with them because of the aggression and their behavior, and some of them just don't even spend time to even see what it's about, so they kind of shun them away, which is, my heart goes out to the mothers who are raising these children, because their whole life is this is a lifetime commitment for them. It's not a child that they're dealing with, that like it's like some of them are dealing with a 2 or 3 year old that grows up at 30 or 40, 50 years old and may not ever get past that development. You know what I mean? So these moms are changing diapers. These mothers are dealing with behaviors that are extremely aggressive, because the children can't really speak out and say what they want and what they need, and you just have to really be around them to really understand and get it. And they're isolated, you know what I'm saying? So they're our priority. And then, of course, we definitely try to support the others, and anything that we can do to, refer them or give them that can support them. But again, the highly impacted are the main ones that are our priorities. So we're trying to build a home right now, a dream home for little girls with autism. I personally, have seen a little girl raised who got the shot. They got the hot shot, is what I call it. I call it a cocktail shot. That cocktail shot at 1.5 years old, and that one shot took her out, and she wasn't the same anymore.
Wow.
So, yeah. So watching her, turn into autism from a perfectly normally developing little baby to someone who went into space after this shot. Um, it impacted her, and the only reason why I know is because she had a cousin that I kept too, and they were only 2 months apart, which are two of my granddaughters, and this was I guess maybe about 9 years ago. So they were 2 months apart, and they were developing perfectly the same. But when that baby got that hot shot, that took her out. So
And can you describe that shot for those that may not know what that shot is?
well, a lot of vaccines don't really. A lot of vaccines, you know how you have to have the kid shots. You get all these different shots at certain ages. Well, this
Right.
was one that she was supposed to have at about a year and a half. And that's the one that had the multiple, I call it a cocktail shot because it was for multiple reasons. It's supposed to prevent her from certain things. So that is pretty much cookie cutter in the medical system. We didn't allow any of the other kids to have shots after that. They were the two oldest. And after that, second to the oldest got it. And we seen the impact. We didn't let nobody else get shots. I have 6 grandchildren and none of them got shots early. We waited till they got about 7 and they homeschooled their kids. So that way we didn't have an accident. And we're very aware and clear that it came from the vaccine because she was a perfectly normal child. And we don't have a background or a bloodline of people with autism and those type of issues. So she's our special baby. You know what I mean? And so so the beauty of it is that, some of this stuff this doesn't go with your system. They say, these vaccines, the chemistry might not be might not be in agreement, and so we're going to continue to see more and more of that. And there's nothing that anyone can do about it. And you just have to meet these women and their children where they are, because it definitely can take a big impact on their family life. And a lot of people don't want to support them or be around them, or even there's people around me and my children, that don't even have a clue of how my granddaughter acts, that close to me and don't even know because they just don't understand. So I think sounding the alarm, it will be more of an opportunity to have people to have some compassion and some empathy and look outside their own circle and see what people are going through. So that's the reason why I'm sounding the alarm, to bring directive to the amazing moms through the Don't Ask Me Out initiative, not only for the sake of trying to continue to provide these innovative services through the Work It Well project that we currently provide, but also to sound the alarm and let people know, you guys, if you know people and they say, hey, somebody got autism, and me severe autism, is even worse, then have some compassion. Go see if you could support them. You know what I mean? And if it's anybody that is interested in learning how they could support, please go to the website and sign up, inbox me, whatever you got to do to contact me. And we will definitely bring you in the pool and see how we could bring you as a part of the movement, because we need support from everyone.
Man, did you hear what this queen just described to y'all? Autism touches everyone all over the world. We, like you said, this is something that a lot of parents, I know a few close parents that are in the circle of family that are dealing with it personally. If you know anybody that's dealing with autism, support what Suga is putting down. The workitproject.org. Go to that website, if not for anything else, to show that Orlando and the world has got her back in this whole fight. Well, you're still doing music, obviously. Where can people find this new project, and how can they support you? Whether that is just, putting down some comments, buying the music, buying the merch. What can they do to continue to hear your voice in this music as we did tonight?
Well, all you have to do is go to the sugarrush.com. Again, the sugarrush.com, and everything we talked about is all on that page. So you can get to the initiatives, you can get to my music, you can get to the boutique, you can get to a workout that I have, the Work It Challenge. I do a workout series. The new season is starting on Tuesday. So if you guys know somebody that want to work out with me live, you can sign up for the Work It Challenge there.
Wait. What? What did you just say? What? Speak of my goodie, I can't hear you. What did you just say?
I do a working challenge where I present a cardio boss up workout.
Okay.
Yeah, and we do a distance, through the internet. So people can sign up there and they could work out with me. And I do one workout at 7:15. It has the times on there on Tuesdays and Thursdays one time, and then on Wednesdays and Fridays another time. So you can sign up there. So everything is at thesugarrush.com. And you can get to all the things that we're talking about. It's the Sugar Rush is about music, motivation, and media, and the media is a part of just making sure that the voice is heard and that people are able to continue to not get totally sucked into the rapidemic, and they can hear another voice of reason to possibly help balance them out, while continuing to see how we can build others up as we continue to stay present.
Man, how many bombs are you gonna drop tonight? The lady said you could work out with me tonight. Like, what is going on? Like, yo, like, man, don't let up, man. We need all that. We need all that.
It's the Sugar Rush, King. It's the Sugar Rush.
Oh, the Sugar Rush. Okay, I got you. Yo,
everybody do that.
Make sure you go support the queen, man. She's still doing her thing after all of these years. Ain't no stopping. You said THE, right?
Yes, sir.
THE, thesugarrush.com. Please go out and support. This is the movement. All things sugar. I can't let you leave without asking you, what is it like to know that your brother is still impacting the youth the way he does, and that he's still, to me, I think he's even better than he was when he came out. Like, he is still as sharp. He's razor sharp, and we need all the OGs we can get to speak to these kids. And I think what he's done over these past few years, pandemic included, like, he's been working, he's been at it. I think it's a beautiful thing. What do you feel about? What say you about E40?
Well, it's always, I'm very proud of him and happy that he's able to do that. Him, along with many of the other older artists. I'm just waiting for all the older artists to come and support us.
Right. And I'm glad you said that, because what is the thing that is stopping us from supporting us? And as I'm saying it, it sounds so fucking stupid. And there's no fucking answer to it. There's never going to be an answer to it, because everybody wants fucking money or. Okay, tell me, Mama. I know.
We got a lot of layers going on here. We got people that then got tricked off of hype. So if you ain't big looking and smashing in their face all the time, they don't believe it. They rather believe a lie than the truth. You know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, you have different layers going on here. And I think the biggest thing is sometimes people are just distracted and they haven't grown. They're still in that paradigm, and they may be grown in one area. They may be, great business people. They might, but these other areas where, again, you look and you say, look, we need some balance in this game. Some things is supposed to be done just because.
The one thing I always loved about hip hop, right?
There's not supposed to be a reason. Some things are supposed to be done. One thing that's supposed to be done is supporting and keeping the foundation balanced. And definitely, if you know that there are women and there's people in your space that's still active, that need that support and can use it from you. And at the same time, where there is not a whole lot of there's not a lot of opportunities like they used to, because of the super illuminated people who are taking over, with their own agenda, that illuminated element that they got going on, where it's, the people that's shining the biggest, you feel me? At the end of the day,
and that's a whole nother show, people.
that I'm not gonna be on. Okay.
Yeah, right.
I'll leave that up to Jaguar Wright.
I heard that. Yes, I heard
But
that.
but the point is that they seeing people who are still active and to just not pay attention and not take your eyes off yourself and continue to build up the guys. Let me just go back to women. It's a male chauvinist thing. It has to be, you know.
Well,
and
males are
between the-
shamed into being because I heard you say or reference these points a lot during our conversation, which I thought was dope. That, you know, for a lot of men, they act like children. And I wanted to preface that in that when I first heard music, and I first, like you were talking about mama's music, our generation prior, when we got to listen to the Mary Jane girls, the Rick James, the Michael Jacksons, the Earth, Wind and Fires, when we got to hear our own shit, which was hip hop, and use all of those elements, it never once made me feel like old people. And old, when I was a kid, shit, old was 21. Like if I was 15 and you 21, that shit sounded old. Like, so old is like a loaded word. Like, be careful who you call old, because you can be old at any motherfucking time and people treat you like you ain't shit because you lived to 20. Okay.
Right.
And that's where we're heading to, this idea.
Yeah, they're retiring you early. So they're telling you to stop. You go in there and stop. And then we're gonna keep doing it though. But you need to stop. So
which is ridiculous.
It's ridiculous. So that's what I want. I want to see the responsibility of these older generation artists, including the one you mentioned earlier, every last one of them. Snoop, Busta Rhymes, all these guys need to get behind us, the first generation females in hip hop, and support us. Period.
Whoa!
They helped build up the other ones by not allowing us to exist and allowing us to not be illuminated with them. And they pushed us to the back and told us to be like them. Okay. And they empowered them to feel like they could step on us now. You feel me? And the bottom line is the only way it's going to be fixed, one part of the way, is for them to step out of their own space, out of their own, ego, their own immaturity, and stop and say, let me be a real leader and let me put some real queens, some generals in front of the game just to help the balance. And again, I can't say it enough. No one said that the younger generation of females should not exist. They're awesome. Let them have their fun. You know what I mean? I just pray that they're well later, because you can only do so many things and talk about so many things so much before it bites you in the butt. But that energy is real. I just pray that. But let us do our thing. We not old and played out. We still around, and we still pushing. And they make it harder for us to exist. And they made us find other things to do because they didn't support us. And they lost belief in not only us, but themselves, because they started supporting the younger artists. And that's what I am really annoyed with. And that's why I'm speaking out, because we're still around live and direct. And it's not fair that they bury our legacies just because they're afraid, and they were afraid, and they push us in a box and tell us that we don't need to exist. And they continue to exist and keep building these groups and these, their own brands. And it's just, I don't know how they're comfortable like that.
Man, did you listen to the words that are coming out of the Queen's mouth? She is rapping to y'all right now. She's telling y'all the story. She's giving y'all the blueprint. Go out and support this energy. Go out and support Suga-T. It don't mean nothing that she is over here and we're over there. We are all one people. We need to support one another, and what a perfect time to do so. We've been cooped up for damn near over a year, and we're starting to come out, and that's what they don't want. They don't want us talking. They don't want us conversating. They don't want us supporting each other, because once that shit happens, it's a wrap. Man, I'm so honored to have you on the show tonight. More than what I expected, and then some. Like I said, you had me ready to go out in March before the show even started. I was like, okay, where we going? Shit. Man, I gotta take a flight or something. Like, what are we doing? Like, but no, that's what needs to happen. It's good. It's good when something like that happens, when you could just meet somebody for the first time and they move the shit out of you. And that's dope. That's a fucking honor. I'm so glad we had this show tonight. And I thank you, Queen. Keep doing your thing. You're always welcome on this show. And once again, where can they find your stuff? Where can they find all things Suga-T? Where can they go to support this movement?
TheSugarRush.com.
Damn, there we go.
.com.
There we go. There we go, man. Thank you. Once again, we love you, Sugar. You've done so many great things, and you ain't done yet. We're supporting you out here, and anytime you can come out to Orlando and do your thing, we got you, man. We got you back. We're supporting you out here, all right?
Thank you so much. Thank you for your support, and you keep up the good work also.
Thank you, Queen. Thank you. Give it up one time for the legendary Suga-T. Let's go. Thank you.
Thank you.
Man, so honored to have these caliber of legends on the show. Shout out to everybody that's tuning in tonight. My man, Strange Flow, you have me rolling all night, man. Shout out to you. Shout out to everyone. Slide Music, UBO. Shout out to my man, Work. Shout out to you. Shout out to Jesse Jazz. If you need printing in the city, please believe me. Go to 5stargraphics.com. Support the brother that's not only the local legend of DJing and the local legend of promoting, but he's also the local legend of graphic artwork in the city. You haven't seen a spot go down in the city, and Jesse Jazz and 5-Star Graphics name ain't put on it, man. Go support the brother. He represents the city on the reels. We love all y'all, man. We can't do this show without you. Shout out to everybody that tuned in all night. We love you. This is what we do, man. We talk about real things with real people. It's about our city, our story, our sound. We love all of you. And once again, I have to say this, man, because we've been talking about it all night. The art of loving. Loving is messy. Sometimes it's not clean of mistakes. People are going through things right now. People have lost loved ones. People have lost friends. People have lost strangers. We're living, as we speak today, there was a mass shooting. People are dying left and right. Please believe me, people are going through things, man. And if we could just take, maybe 5 minutes of our day to be human to anyone, to be actually a human being and not, fill up this sheet of checks and balances. Okay, did he do this? Did he do this? Did he do this? And be a fucking robot to people, and actually love people for who the fuck they are, regardless to whether they're what we decided to be or not. And just love people, man. We make this world a better place, man. So shout out to all my peoples out there who are loving, regardless to the world feel the hate. Shout out to all my peoples that'll reach out to family members and strangers, and it begins with a conversation, man. Sometimes all you got to say is, I love you. And I was blessed with that today. My daughter came in right before the show started. She said, Daddy, I love you. And that's all I needed to hear. So I'm good. The world could take me out right now. And my daughter told me she loved me. So shout out to anybody that's hearing that, feeling that, digging that. This is part of that sound that we call Orlando. This is our sound, and ain't nobody fucking with that, and you know that, bro. Sound of Orlando show. Love out, man. See y'all tomorrow.
Live on stage, that sound.
Orlando!
So, is they ready?
Yes.
That sound.